Like I can. It's making my mouth watery. It's so sour. Moist. Yum.
Yum. Yum. Welcome to Running Beer and BS, a podcast where we discuss those things and more. I'm Flores.
I'm Johnny.
And this is episode 14. 14. We're making our way. Who would have thought we got this far? Thank you, loyal listeners, for continuing week after week. This week we're talking about trail etiquette. Yes, we're going to call out the do's, the don'ts, and the things that will definitely get you thrown in a river.
More the don'ts.
And more of the things that are going to throw you in the river. There's not too many do's. There's a few do's.
Yeah.
The do's are just don't do the don'ts.
The do's are the don'ts.
Carry the double negative. Is all check out?
It has to be your no. Huh. No. All right. So as always, we start our talk with what's dehydrating us this evening. I've got an interesting one from my trip out west. So in Oklahoma City, there's a delicious brewery called Stone Cloud Brewing Company. Kayla and I went there, had a few little 4-ounce tasters. I think we had some 8-ounce glasses as well. And as I was there, I saw this thing on the menu that said Chaz Michael Michaels. And instantly I was like, please tell me that's from Blades of Glory. And the bartender was like, yes, by a chance it actually is. And I was like, how is that Chaz Michael Michaels? And he's like, it's actually 3 different beers. And it was like $23 for this bottle. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, there's 3 different ones. I'm like, which one's the best? Because I'm not spending $60 on 3 bottles of beer. So they're all barrel-aged sours. They have different sort of ingredients in them. This is barrel-aged sour with black currants on the label. Like a failed attempt of the Iron Lotus, our wine barrel-aged sour.
It's such a funny movie.
That really, obviously, these are all Blades of Glory references. But like a failed attempt of the Iron Lotus, our wine barrel-aged sour pours a deep crimson. Michael's was re-fermented on a levathon of black currants for a tart floral finish.
Oh my!
And
a levathon?
It's Leviathan.
You know, I know for a fact one of the listeners is a librarian or something along those lines, and she is absolutely banging her head against something right now. And I love the fact that she knows exactly who I'm talking about. And she's like, those illiterate bastards.
And she will call us out on Twitter, and that'll be the end of that.
Yeah, can't wait to hear from you.
Yeah, looking forward to it. But yeah, this is the label's pretty cool. We're going to post a picture on the social media. It's the scene where, if you haven't seen Blades of Glory, you should. It's a really funny movie.
It is funny.
But it's basically where Will Ferrell's holding whatever Napoleon Dynamite's name is.
Oh, yeah, no clue. I would actually this was before Napoleon Dynamite, right?
This was after Napoleon Dynamite.
Was it really?
Yeah.
See, I was actually just thinking about, as you were sitting talking about, I was kind of daydreaming and thinking, is this maybe Will Ferrell's least known movie? Or maybe at least his most...
It's probably his least known comedy.
Yeah, what's the word I'm looking for? His most unappreciated. That's kind of what
probably. It's probably down there up for his comedies, because he's done a couple like drama movies that are like weird, like Everything Must Go.
No, I ain't heard of that one.
Oh, it's deep.
Really?
Him and his wife get a divorce. He loses his job, and he basically has a permanent yard sale. His wife's kicking him out of the house.
Yeah.
He puts everything on the front lawn.
Yeah.
And he's like just lives on his front lawn.
That's awesome.
It's a real like deep, like emotional, like learning to love yourself kind of movie. It's weird, but it's funny.
So the wife is still living in the house?
She was, and then like went somewhere else on like a vacation or something like that. So he's like kicked out of the house, and he's like, "Screw it, I'm still living on the front lawn." And his buddy's a cop, and he's like, "Hey, legally, you can have a yard sale for like 3 days."
That's awesome.
So literally, like, he doesn't sell anything. The people come like, "Hey, how much is this?" He's like, "Not for sale." It's like you have a lazy boy like in the middle of your yard. It's good. It's on Netflix. I think it's called Everything Must Go.
That's interesting.
But yeah, I would agree that this is probably his.
As far as comedies go,
people don't know this one all too well.
Yeah.
It has its different lines.
Yeah,
like the one I always say. It's like it's mind bottling. It's like your mind's in a bottle. What's the one he just said? He's like, They said they're all laughing at us. Like they laughed at Louis Armstrong when he said he was going to the moon.
Yeah. So stupid.
But yeah, what do you think of this beer?
It is it's sour. It is I don't always pick up on like necessarily the flavors and the nuances that sometimes they say you should or something like that. Like I kind of taste what I taste. This one is so sour that there's just no. I'm just not getting anything. It is I haven't taken a drink of it in probably I don't know 90 seconds, 2 minutes or so, and the back of my mouth is still like tingling with the sourness.
So I had to look up what black currants are because I don't know.
Are they like a cherry?
It's kind of like it says it's for its piquant berries. It's very known for its piquant berries. I'm pronouncing that wrong. I just want to see how many words I can pronounce wrong.
Her head's gonna be exploding.
But yeah, it's kind of like looks like a blackberry / cherry kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
in that same kind of thing. But yeah, I think it's good. It looks like wine. It is very crimson.
Oh,
in
when
color.
it poured, it's that is the darkest crimson I've ever seen. I mean, there is no light passing through it at all.
Roll Tide.
Bunch of inbreds. That is. Oh man, I just really held it up. It has already got settlement on the bottom of the glasses. You know?
Oh really?
Yeah. I mean, that's
I didn't
not.
Look at that.
That's really not crimson. I mean, that's. I don't know what's a darker red than crimson. I mean, it's almost black, really.
Yeah, it's like a dark cherry color, but I like it. It's not bad. It's super tart though. That is for sure. They have like a little rating thing on the side. 7.1%. This was bottled at the beginning of the year. And out of like 10, the tartness is 8. And the funk is a 4.
Yeah, it's not very funky.
No. I think it's not bad.
It's not. It is sweet. Like after like the tartness. I mean, it's you know what it is. It's a liquid sweet tart.
Ooh, I'd say that.
Like one of the sour a sweet Sour Patch Kid.
Yeah,
it's like a liquid version of one of those, almost with not as sweet. It's definitely way.
Isn't that
more
exactly
sour.
what you said when we were at Pretentious? You're like it's a liquid Sour Patch Kid.
Yeah, but this
is different than anything we had over there.
Way more sour than anything Pretentious brewed.
But I wonder if it's because like I don't know whatever barrel aging they did to it. Like if it just gave a little bit more of that wine, because it's definitely got that wine and like I'm gonna say like oaky, but it definitely has like it's a little heavier.
Yeah, well, I feel like Pretentious, they purposely didn't make anything this sour.
Yeah,
because they didn't want to so I feel like when these guys, Stone Cloud, when they did this, they're like, well, we're going to brew a sour. We're going to make this bitch super sour. You know, they purposely went
to see what they could do.
They purposely tried to make this as sour as they could possibly make it and still make it halfway decent. I mean, it is. I mean, it's one of those beers where you drink it maybe once a month or so, just to mix it up, something different. It's just something. It is good.
It's not bad, and it was a limited release. I don't know how much they still have available. I know they didn't have that much when I was there, but they made it for the Winter Olympics. They did a special for the Winter Olympics. And like, hey, we're going to do figure skating. What's a really cool figure skating movie?
Yeah.
Blades of Glory.
Yeah,
they should use like Tanya Harding and like a stick.
It's good. I like it. I do like it. You know, it's for a once in a blue moon kind of beer.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, it's good for what we're doing here. Taste something new.
Yeah.
Enjoy in the evening, because we're actually recording much earlier than we usually do.
I know. It's almost still light out. Negative. Never mind. I just looked outside for the first time in a while.
It's now dark. Yeah, we get here and obviously we talk for a little bit, so that's how that works. But yeah, so thanks Stone Cloud for the beverage. They did give us a hookup, not on this specific beverage, but on some other stuff while we were there. So thank you so much, Stone Cloud Brewing Company in Oklahoma City. If you are in the area, it's in a pretty cool area. They allow dogs there.
I love breweries that do that.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of places are doing like the garage door now.
Yes,
to the outside area. Yeah. It was really a cool spot. Straight hipster, like in the middle of like the hipsterest place in Oklahoma City.
Speaking of like jumping the shark a little bit, this is more for you know what? Remind me when we get to the local stuff to talk to you about
garage doors in the place we're at. That's a tease. That's what we call a tease in the industry.
In the industry. Garage door local. Question. I'll put that in the local
the
section.
Anticipation.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is, so I'm on the edge of my seat, a.k.a. the carpet.
Sofa or floor.
I'm on the floor.
So as everybody knows, this is Sunday we're recording on. That means yesterday was Forget the PR.
Woohoo!
It was awesome.
It was a really good time.
That was one of the more fun Forget the PRs I've volunteered at. This is my third year volunteering at Forget the PR, and I had an absolute blast. Primarily because I'm the beer czar.
Yeah,
so
you get to have a really good time always.
My job is if you are shitty to the beer czar, then you're just a miserable son of a bitch. like I should get zero shit from anybody. Right. I think I got like half an ounce of shit from like maybe 3 people. Mm-hmm. And quite honestly, I've been drinking at that point. I didn't even notice it until someone said, that guy's a dick. I'm like, he was?
Yeah, that guy was pretty rude to you. Like,
okay.
All right.
Cool. Just right back to
who else wants a beer?
Who else wants a beer? Lager? IPA? What we got? All right. So, how did parking cars go for you down there?
Parking went pretty smooth. They planned a little heavy, so we had a lot of people. So I didn't really do that much. I just waved to people and said good morning and stuff. So it was like I was the friendly face. I was like, hey, you're about to hate life.
Hey, speaking. So I got there. Oh, what time did I pull in? I got there like 9. Not.
You got there because 25K started at 9, so you probably got there like 8:30.
Yeah. So I got there at 8:30 when you guys were walking up from parking cars. I did get there in time to hear you guys in your infinite fucking wisdom discover that there is flashlights on the bottom of the fucking.
Dude, I was there when I got there. So here's a funny story. You know what? We talked about Chad and his poop story. We're gonna talk about mine. I'm driving and I'm turning. I'm turning. What's the left? So I'm coming at the back road to take a left, and the campground would be on my left. Whatever road that is, the 97, 90, whatever.
Well, 97 comes from 71.
Yeah, so whatever road comes from 71, I came there and I make a left to head towards where the start is.
Okay.
And I hit like that turn, and I'm like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, it's now.
Like right now? Like, can't wait. So literally, I'm going, and I'm already like 10 minutes behind because I forgot I had to get gas. And I'm going, and all of a sudden, I'm like, yeah, that's where I need to be. McDonald's is up the road. Just walked in McDonald's, did what I got to do.
Loudonville's McDonald's?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just use the bathroom right there at the...
I wanted the easiest, quickest. I didn't want to walk up a hill. I didn't want to find out where I needed to park. I needed to pull into a parking spot and run into McDonald's.
So for future reference, the 24-hour laundromat that's right there. At the front, right? So you know where the marathon was, right? There's a 24-hour laundromat right next door to that.
Well,
and they have beautiful bathrooms. Also, the marathon right there, right, on the outside of that building, they have outside bathrooms that I honestly don't know I've ever found unlocked. Huh. And in addition, if you're running at Mohican and it's kind of cold out, they might be the hottest motherfuckers you'll ever go in your life. They're like fucking Turkish saunas. Like, you will drop some LBs in that bitch if you're in there for too long.
That's not too bad. But so I wasn't there when it was too dark because of my situation.
Yeah.
But they were looking for flashlights or whatever, and then apparently the bottom of the walkie-talkies had flashlights.
I love the fact that they discovered it when they were done. Like Scott Wolf is walking up, he's like, so, hey, I'm like, holy sweet baby
there's
Jesus.
Flashlights on the bathrooms. I'm like, another thing that Scott did. I hope he listens to this.
Scott, you know he will.
Yeah,
on a treadmill, and he'll be talking to us.
He's like, "That's not right. You're lying." Like, no, this is definitely the truth. So you know the sign that's like towards the road that's like parking this way or whatever. Well, they designed it in a way which was genius that has like these like looped fly ties. So they have the 2 posts and then they slide it down.
Sure.
So we needed to flip the sign saying, hey, this parking lot's full, go across the street.
Right.
Scott is like yanking on the poles to pull them out. And everyone's doing this, like pulling the poles. And I'm like, hey guys, like I'm pretty sure like we should just be able to lift it up and turn it. And I'm like, you're lucky you had the Millennia with you. I'm thinking outside the box. Scott's like, no, I was about to get a shovel and dig all this up.
What is fucking awesome is you were down there with like some seriously educated motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah.
Like this homeboy, Scott has a fucking degree from Notre Dame, ladies and gentlemen. This dude went to Notre Dame. He is a lawyer. Like that dude could represent you in court. He's trying to shit on the ground.
Oh, that's just
so awesome.
Yeah, that was. But yeah, parking was great. And then after the parking, we banded it a little bit and did like 12 miles, I think. Yeah, just over 12 miles, just trying to get some. Get some runs. It was the first time I ever did Big Ass Hill. Did you see the picture that Doug took?
That's a really good picture.
Oh, dude, when I saw it, I was like,
of you. I saw one with like there's the three of you standing.
I'm on the left.
Right.
So it's me, Keith, and Scott.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The picture of us.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
So the picture of us, well, I'll share it to our Facebook page. But when I saw that picture, I'm like, oh, I am stealing that. I'm like processing it. I'm making it look sweet. Cause like just the angle, we're all looking up the hill. I was like, man. Yeah. It's like, Doug, that's a really good picture. Thank you for letting me steal it.
So how far did Keith run with you?
Keith, we were together.
You guys did 12 miles altogether, right?
We were with him until Fire Tower, and then he took off just a little faster than we did. Jeez. Imagine that. He was running with Mike, I want to say, with the other sweeper.
Mark.
He went with him, and they took off down the trail until they got to Cover Bridge. We saw him again at Cover Bridge, and he goes, hey, you guys want to do the dam loop with us? We're like, no, we're going back. And then we just cut back in.
The only reason I was wondering how many Keith ended up getting all together then, because he did this is what I asked, because he did the sweeping and all that kind of stuff.
So by the time we got to Covered Bridge, we only passed one person.
Okay.
And that was a 25K-er.
Okay.
On a thing, and because we left, I want to say we left at like 9:30, so we left probably 30 minutes after the start and didn't catch anybody. We caught her at Fire Tower, that person, and then so there wasn't too many people there.
Speaking of catching people on the course, did you happen to help any lost runners?
Oh, I forgot about that. So we're on our way back. If you're familiar, I'm not that familiar with the Mohican area. So what's that trail called?
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, at No Mohican, here's what happened. They come down off from North Rim Trail. That little, used to be a road right there, right? All the trails dump in that little road. So they come off North Rim, they make the left, they're heading down toward the campground road. And then there is a runner that they see, wondering, well, here, okay.
Yeah, so we're heading back to North Rim at this point.
Oh, you heading back toward North Rim?
She went over North Rim and she had just gone over North Rim heading towards us. We're on our way back to North Rim to the finish.
Yeah.
And she is we see this lady in the middle, not on the trail, off the trail by a good 20 yards.
Kind of where, for you guys who know, it's kind of along where Hemlock Trail is down around that area.
Yeah.
She's parallel to the river, essentially.
Exactly.
Yes.
And she's just looking around going, hey, have you guys seen runners come at you? And we're like, no, because they shouldn't.
Yeah.
And if they are, no, where are you trying to go? And Scott was like, hey, what distance are you? Where are you trying to get? Da, da, da. She's like, I'm on 50K going on my second loop. And we're like, all right, did you hit Big Ass Hill the second time? She goes, I've got to do it again. I'm like,
which I love that.
Yeah. I
love that.
I think that was more or less of a, she was just so disoriented, had no idea where she was at. And we're like, all right, so you're about a half a mile to 3/4 of a mile off track.
Yeah.
I'm you have to turn back around, head across the bridge, and go on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
To head to Big Ass Hill. And she kept asking us, how did I get off trail? And Scott's like, I think that's a rhetorical question because I really don't know how you got off trail because you're just not following the pink flags. But
the subtle nuance of that story that may have got lost in between him and I talking over each other is the fact that when they came across her, she was not on the trail at all.
Yeah, she's wandering
in the woods.
She was wandering through brush.
She's in the woods. She's not on a trail. She's in the woods, cutting through brush and trees and shit.
Yeah, and if you're a listener and that was you, I'd love if you message us. We'll send you a sticker.
If you put yourself on blast and say that was you, we will gladly send you a sticker. Yeah. Maybe two. Maybe a round one and a square one.
It was just... It was very interesting. We just giggled about it. I mean, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think overall, everyone seemed pretty happy at the race.
The few people I talked to, when people come to talk to me at the beer, I was pretty much just talking to them about beer. In the podcast. Yeah. I asked a couple of people about how their day was, and I think a lot of people were really surprised about how hot it was that day. I think people in their minds, they had seen the forecast. and they'd seen that it was supposed to rain. And I think people really had themselves psychologically geared toward, I'm going to be a little chilly,
a cooler,
little
wet
wet.
one, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, man, it got warm. I mean, it got up into low 70s.
Yeah, by the time we hit Fire Tower, the sun, like the clouds parted for a good hour or so.
Yeah.
And I just felt like we were getting beat on from just a couple miles from Fire Tower to Cover Bridge. And I was just like, I was spent by the time I got to Cover Bridge. I'm like, this is not, I mean, it's also like flying downhill for that one portion.
Well, and I know the medical team had to go get one person that collapsed on the course. Yeah. So they said when they got him, that he was at a blanco. He was
not in a good situation.
Lights were on, no one was home, folks. Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
But another successful year for Forget the PR.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Volunteering was fun as always. I don't know that I've ever volunteered there and not walked away. I may steal a line from one of the Facebook posts I saw. Yeah, another. I think I've seen it twice. As a matter of fact, another year I walk away from there with just a big ass smile.
Yeah,
kudos to all Forget the PR runners, volunteers, race directors, all those people. Kudos for everything you did.
Yeah, everyone that supported that in any way.
Most importantly, kudos for floating 2 kegs, ladies and gentlemen. 2 kegs were floated.
They said it couldn't be done.
Yeah. On that note, when we got 2, Rob Powell, the OG race director, did say that he has never floated 2 kegs.
Really?
Lo and behold, possums come in, take that shit over. Kegs no mas.
Yeah, they're like, well, that was a fun attempt to do that. We're going to definitely get that done.
So kudos to that.
Nice, but yeah, so like John said, successful. I think everything went well from what we saw and from what we read on the socials. So yeah, I might. I'm probably going to volunteer again next year. I think it's a really good race to volunteer. Maybe I like doing the parking and then just being able to like just get out there and like meet some people on the trail and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was good seeing the leaders fly by us.
That is maybe the only flaw with being the beer czar is I don't really get a chance to run before.
Yeah.
I could probably get some run in, but not very much. Or maybe if I'd get there and start, but I wouldn't see any runners.
Yeah, you'd have to start like with the 50K or a little before, and you wouldn't be able to do a full.
Yeah.
Because by the time
I could do like a quarter of the 50K, and then maybe make it back for the 50K finishers.
John just takes a nap near one of the trees.
Yeah, I guess if I start with the 50Ks, I could run up to Covered Bridge via Hemlock.
Yeah.
Right? And then straight back.
You could do the loop we did. You could go up Big S Hill and do that stuff. It took us 3 hours to do that, so that would put you back.
That puts me back about an hour and...
It'd be an hour and 15 minutes after the 25K started.
Well, and so 4:15... Am I remembering? I think Trumbo won this year in 4:30, 4:44, 4:30 plus or minus 10 minutes. I think is what Trumbo won the 50K in this year.
He passed us before we got to Covered Bridge.
So
obviously the second time,
homie can fly.
Yeah, he's not slow.
He's not fast.
Yeah, but speaking about some fast runners and stuff like that,
that kind of leads nicely into trail etiquette. Because when he came flying up on you, what did you do?
We got our asses over.
That's right.
So there's a few things we'll talk about trail etiquette. Some of them are just, I think they're pretty common and they make sense. Some of them you may have never thought before. So we'll kind of go over that, and then we have some funny stories too to randomly talk about. But I think a lot of the stuff initially really has to do with fast runners versus slow runners. And sometimes slow runners feel like, some people may feel like the fast runners are like showing you up for trying to make you look bad, or, you paid the same amount of money they paid, or maybe they even got in for free and, why are you having to do these kind of things? But
fast runners don't get in for free at possum races.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Cool story, 50-mile national record holder.
But I'm handicapped.
That was probably not nice.
There's a charitable race. You're still paying.
Yeah,
but
sorry. Thanks for supporting the charity.
Have a good training run.
Yeah, have fun. So we asked a few people, a few of the listeners, or actually we asked all of the listeners, and a few of you guys responded back on a Facebook post not too long ago. And this is kind of where we got some of the ideas of this, and we added our own. But really the first one, and I think this is like probably the most important, is being realistic in your race goals. Yeah. Like understanding that if you are a slower runner, start in the back.
Yeah. And I feel like this, I guess it does kind of go for trail running also. Maybe not quite as much.
I'm saying most of this stuff is trail running based.
Yeah, this is really. But I guess what I was saying is where I really see this one being the most prominent is at like road events. Though.
Yeah, for sure.
Like when they have corrals set up.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, if you plan on running this race in, 3:30 to 3:45. And here's your corral. Well, if you know that you're going to be at like a 6-hour marathon, don't be squeezing into the 3 hour.
Right.
Because you're going to get blown by. And it just creates like this weird, kind of hostile, like.
Yeah, and it sucks on the road, but I say it sucks even more on trail and we're not in the position where we're really passing people.
Oh, no.
But there have been situations where you start races and you see walkers in the front, and even our slow asses catch up to those walkers, and you're like, you're side by side. It's single track, and you're trying to do too wide, and you're like, hey, I got to get around you. Like, I don't understand what the point is. So just be realistic in your race goals and
be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be honest with yourself, because if not, it's going to bite you in the ass. It goes back to, like I said, slow people. You stay in the back, not in the front, and then let faster people pass you. If you did do that in some situation where a fast person got started later than you, or you just got mixed up in the starting things, I mean, all of the possum races are go.
Yeah, you don't even know if you're facing the right direction at the right time.
Which flags do I hit first?
You just gotta wait for like the mass amount of people to go, it's that way? Hey, cool.
This is the way we're going? Sounds good.
Yeah.
So if that happens and you see someone coming up on you, I guess it's twofold. If you're the fast person, let them know you're coming up behind them. Do not scare the living shit out of them, or blow by them and
just
give
a nice little on your left. Just give something. Give some sort of heads up. You don't need to throw an elbow or throw a shoulder until much you like fly by at like 7-minute mile or whatever you gazelles run at. Just nice little on your left.
Right, and then the slow people, if you hear that, how about you just get to your right?
Step to the right.
Give them a little bit of room, and that also comes when the runners are coming straight at you. Yeah. There's a few kind of out and back. I won't call them out and back, but there's obviously two-way traffic on Forget the PR. And when they're coming right at you, just step off the trail. Like if it is single track and you both can't fit there running, just get off. The 2 or 3 seconds that it's going to take you to get off, like they don't need to stop because they're going a hell of a lot faster.
I also, the other thing that's always kind of surprised me, and maybe I just, when I'm running, if I'm coming at somebody, I kind of treat it like it's a road. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you go to the right.
Right.
It amazes me how many people want to step to their left. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? This isn't England.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Hello. Governor.
Why the fuck did you step that way? Like, it confuses the shit out of me sometimes.
Yeah,
but
it's funny, too, because you'll say on your left.
They watch the people,
and then they go to the left. Like that's not.
It is kind of funny.
Or they turn, like they stop and like look and turn around, like
pivot at you, like no.
Like I've never seen anyone before. How do these things work? Oh, it's funny. We talk about like moving over and stuff like that. And Jay Smithberger, we saw him twice on the trail because obviously he's fast and he passed us twice. Yeah. The first time we saw him, he was coming at us. And he is super nice. That's probably the most conversation I've ever had with him. He like
in like 3-second blurts.
He's in third place.
Yeah.
He stops and talks to us for like a minute and a half. And we're like, hey, he's like, yeah, things are going good. He's like, yeah, those guys are in front of me. He's like, I'm probably not going to catch up to them. And I'm just like, all right. He's like, all right, see you guys later. And then just takes off.
Yeah.
And then we see him again after Covered Bridge, and he's coming behind us. And he's like, track. And we're like, what are you just, we stop and turn around because we're at the part where it's like the road. And we're like, there's plenty of room. Like we're on the very edge. You can pass us. Who is this dick that's coming up? And we realize it's him.
Jay fucking
and he just stops. He goes, you never done that one? Like when you're on the track and you're passing somebody? Like, no, we don't pass people.
Do you see us?
Yeah, but he's like, so then he's like, he's not walking at this point because there must have been, the fourth place must have been really close back. So he just said, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
He's like jogging, and then all of a sudden Scott is like trying to keep up with his pace, but we're also having a conversation. And I just feel the pace like creeping. I'm like, Scott.
It's not going to happen, Scott.
Slow down.
Yeah. Which is kind of a crazy thought because if that's Jay heading back in, second loop heading in.
Yeah, and we're 10 miles. We're 8 miles in.
And trying to think that you can hang with him, which is just hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think I could. This guy's just like pushing. I'm like, we can't have we can't talk and run. I can run this pace to like the tree line.
Right.
Because we're on roads.
Right.
And it's flat. But yeah, I would say like really the fast and slow runner thing is probably one of the biggest things that you see people like get hung up on, of like people just like being 3 abreast across a single track trail. Or
we were talking. And it doesn't, what's weird is it's not always about, trails sometimes, because we were talking to, who were we talking? One of our buddies down here in Columbus, we were talking to somebody. They were at High Banks running, and they were running one direction, and there was,
was it Josh?
Man, was it Ziegler? I don't think it was.
It was either Josh or Dave. Maybe Dave.
No, because Dave doesn't complain about shit. Dave is like so mellow. That dude doesn't complain.
I saw him there. He's like, yeah,
so
man,
chill.
Georgia was tough, but I did my goal. I'm like, dude,
I swear he self medicates from the pharmacy drawer. Like, that dude is so fucking mellow. But anyways, I can't remember who that was. That really bothered me. But they were basically talking about they were running at High Banks. And a group of runners with a certain running group logo. And like all 3 of them are like wearing it proudly with across their chest. 3 to 4, however many it was. And they're all super. And like High Banks has a wide ass trail. Like that is like, I don't know, 6 feet, 8 feet wide.
It's at least 6.
8. Yeah, because as a matter of fact, in my head, I'm trying to think if I laid down across it, could I? And I couldn't. It's got to be 8, maybe 10. Now that I think about it like that.
Yeah, so, that could be true.
So they're running, and they're literally taking up the entire width. And whoever that was running said that it was so bad they had to stop. And like, was like, what the fuck? Oh, we got the right of way. And like the other group, and like, what a bunch of dicks.
No, you don't have the right of way. I would have tripped you.
Like,
speaking of things that get you thrown in the river.
But anyways, that's kind of the stepping to the side and or kind of being cognizant on the trail about fast runners coming at you. Another one that we got from someone listening that kind of posted on our question, and this comes from one of your possum herders. This is Chad Hild put in, and this should be no surprise because this is one of their golden rules.
Yep.
It's leave it as you found it. Never, ever, 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 ever litter. Like that is just
not cool.
Insane. And I will tell you, that is honestly probably in the top 3 to 5 of my favorite things about trail running versus road running.
Yeah.
Is the fact that, especially in Ohio, I feel like Ohio takes more pride in this. Of the handful of states that I ran in, other than Ohio, I don't know that any of them take it more serious in Ohio about, I mean, it's crazy. Like, if you go, I don't know, 50 meters down from an aid station and there's a garbage bag tied to a tree, in Ohio, you will not see garbage laying next to that bag.
Nope.
And one of my favorite race directors who talks about that is Roy Hager. If you ever go up and run one of Roy Hager's races, his most popular one, I would assume his most popular one that I know the best, is running with scissors. Half marathon, double marathon. It's October. It's always right around Halloween. He will even tell you at the beginning of his races, if you throw down a piece of litter next to the garbage bag, it is not going to magically grow legs and jump itself into the bag.
Yeah.
And it's not the responsibility of my crews or my volunteers to go around and pick up your garbage, put it in there.
Yeah.
And he's like, slow down, put it in the bag.
That's not that difficult.
And I know Roy takes it very serious when he says this, and I've heard Chad and Mark say it, and I would assume they're very serious about it too. They will tell you that if you get caught littering on their course, you are banned for life from their races.
Which makes perfect sense.
And
I added that in my rules for Hangry too, because it's the same thing. And I think
that is effing awesome. I kind of want to catch somebody littering on a course.
Just so you can call them out.
So I can call them out and get them banned for life from said race.
That's just, No, I agree. It's the difference, especially just in road to trail period, road, I mean, people are so used to just throwing stuff on the ground. And even now, I'm more cognizant of it that I try to, like, if I drink some water, I do whatever, I try to place it in a bag. Or if someone is sitting there raking, I'll ask, like, can I put it? And most of the time, they're like, just throw it down. And I'm like, so I'll throw it down there. If there's not a trash, because sometimes there's not trash cans, and they just tell you to throw it. I'm like, all right, I try to throw it like where they get it. If they don't, I literally stuff it like in the strap of my shorts or in a pocket or something until I see a trash can. It's when they don't give you trash cans, it's like, what do you want me to do? Like, I don't want to throw this on the ground.
I feel bad for the rakers when I'm watching them rake, and like they get like that clean path from where they just raked.
Yep, and then there's 15 more cups.
And there's always that one person like, like it's like, oh look, a clean spot for me to throw my cup. And I feel like they almost purposely throw it there against the raker.
It's so crazy because especially you see it like in the middle of the road. You're like, hey, if you're going to drink your drink and then throw it off, how about you throw the cup off to the side of the road? Don't throw it in the middle of the road for everyone else to slip on.
Yeah.
It was that was so weird. I remember in Berlin there were plastic cups. They weren't even like the cool paper plate. So you just hear, and you're like, "This is great. I'm going to slip on plastic while I'm running." Ugh.
Germany, big middle finger to the planet Earth. Evidently, they're plastic cups.
So, I show you.
So, but yeah, that's one of my favorites. Chad had one of my favorites, and here in a second we'll get to another one of my favorites. But next, one of the other listeners was. Poster/listener was Doug Heil. Doug had Let Faster Runners Pass, which we kind of hit on already with Andrews, and then Doug's number 2 was Faster Runners. This is kind of funny. I've never even thought about. I guess I kind of have thought about this, and I've never really put it into terms like it, where a person passes you, and then immediately like slows down like to like a walk or something like that.
Like you pass by and then you're instantly slowed down. You're like, well, it's it's the same thing like when you're driving. You equate the running to the driving. It's you're not going to pass somebody and then slow down. Like get back in their lane and then slow back down. You're like, then what was the point of passing?
Right.
Like just stare at my heels.
I don't know if people do that because of hills or why they do that, but like I have experienced that once or twice, and that would get old fast. Smile and wave. Oh my God. This is for people who ran with me on the OT. This is actually one of my favorite games to play. This is one of my absolute favorites. Number 3 for Doug. Smile, wave, make eye contact if you can. I love running up and down the OT and then saying hi to people. And if they do not say hi or nod or wave or something back, I will say hi at minimum 50 more times.
Yeah.
Or until I pass you, whichever one comes first, and or I get a response out of you. I don't get it.
Just be social. Friendly. Like it's not. I don't know. I don't understand people like anti-social runners.
You know what's funny is that also kind of goes back to. I understand it. A lot of people listen to music and everything like on, but like I don't know. Like even if you had the earpods in or something like that, you can still see people.
Right. And
surely you can still see people like do this number to you.
Right. And if your music is that loud where you're not paying attention to other things, like there's a bigger problem there. Like
that's dangerous.
I mean, go back and listen to our safety episode. I think it was episode 11.
Do listen to the podcast, just not so loudly.
Yeah. Like if you want to listen to something, I get it. Like sometimes it can be mind numbing. You need something to basically get your mind off of things, but you don't need soundproof headphones. Like, or the sound noise cancellation.
Noise canceling big.
Yeah. And just be like, that's stupid. But kind of go along like the same lines of being social and stuff like that. If you're running with a group you probably know the people, but if you're running like in a race, be vocal and like call out things to other people. So on trails specifically, if you see there's a high root coming up or a hole on the ground or a low branch, you're going to see it before the other person does because all they're staring at your back unless it's Chad and you're staring at the top of the head. But it's like you're looking at this person and all of a sudden like they just move out of the way and you run right into a branch.
It is hilarious running with Chad Baxendale though because he doesn't even think about and I get it. Like Chad doesn't even think about calling shit out.
No, because he'll run under a tree.
It's funny, but it
happens in downtown Delaware. We've done it too many times.
I know we make fun of Chad for being short, but it's just a reality of Matt. It's just fact. Dude is like 5'6",
give or take.
he might. I mean, I'd be stunned if he's 5'8". I'd be stunned if he's 5'8".
Yeah.
So I mean, there's just shit that he just doesn't even think about. And I mean, I'm not saying I'm a skyscraper. I'm only 6 foot.
Yeah.
But shit, I mean, it's hilarious. He's like, my bad. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Like, God damn it.
But it's like, if you see those kind of things, call them out, because in most cases, people, you can't see in front of the other person. So if you see them, most of the time when you're running, you're going to step out of the way real quick last minute. So you see a hole or a root or a giant ass puddle or whatever it is, you move real quick. They don't have time to react, or if they do, they're going to end up hurting themselves. So like, call it out. Whether it's, I like to do in the game of literally like pointing down or saying like, hey, something's here, and like, you're not listening. That's your fault. I tried.
That, you know what's kind of funny is, I will admit that is my that's my one faux pas.
Yeah.
Faux pas. That's my one.
Peepaw.
That's my one. That's one of my many. Probably more likely, actually.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the things I don't do really well. I don't call stuff out, but I don't. I think I've gotten to the point where I just assume people aren't writing my ass so bad.
Yeah.
I was like, I guess I assume like, motherfucker, if you wanted to know about that route, you should have been all over my ass. Yeah. You should not have. You shouldn't be able to tell what I ate this morning. Yeah. Like you should step off.
I do it a lot in the road races with speed bumps or like potholes or stuff like that, because trails you can kind of see like, hey, we're going downhill. Maybe I should pay attention to more. Road,
maybe I should back off.
Road, you're just looking straight ahead. Yeah. I mean, I draft like a mother on roads. Like on the last few races have been super windy, so I'm directly behind someone until they don't want to do it, and I'm like, shake and bake, and I take off.
It's weird. Like I
slingshot engage.
Probably about maybe a month or so ago, we were on one of our Saturday runs out on down like a curve road and all that kind of stuff. And the people we're running with, I know for a fact they are infinitely faster than me. And somehow, some way, I find myself, I'm often one of the ones in the front. For some reason, I don't know why. I appreciate it. I'm glad, because I'm holding everyone back to my pace. But I don't know. I'm not very good about calling stuff out like that. I should probably get better about doing that. Doug, let's see. Small way, don't litter. That's always a good one. People hate when
we won't talk about his last one, because that's going to wrap into some more stories. Yes. So we'll bring that up in a second.
Yes.
One that we had talked about previously was what Chaz had said to us about his thing.
And I love this one. This is actually, so like I said, Chad Hills was my second favorite, my favorite. And to the point where this is my favorite, to the point where at Fuzzy Fandango, if you guys don't know about Fuzzy, it is a 25K, 50K race.
November, right?
In November, up in Mohican, and it's kind of a unique race in the sense that Forget the PR starts at Mohican Adventures, Mo obviously starts at Class A. Fuzzy's interesting because it starts all the way on the other side, and it starts at close to Mohican Lodge. So it starts at a different place, and it runs even some different trails that you may or may not get to run on. So anywho,
that supports is that special needs, or is it basically autism, or is it?
Camp New Hop, I believe, is what the camp is called. It's called Camp New Hop, and I think Camp New Hop is a little bit more than autism. I think it's a
like
bigger
special
spectrum.
Needs and
I think it's
general?
even more than that. I think it's just like maybe at risk. Maybe I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I'm 100% sure what Camp New Hop all benefits. You know who does?
We'll post a link to it all in the show notes.
Yeah. Kevin and Shannon May are both huge supporters of this race. But what I am going to do with Chas and Ron this year is they are going to run the 25K. And then they're going to get done, and they're going to sit at the finish line and cheer everybody in.
So that's the thing that Chaz had said.
That goes into what Chaz says. Chaz's is stick around and cheer for as many finishers as possible. He says he meets some awesome folks at the finish line, drinking a few beers and cheering others on. By the way, Chaz drinks more than a few beers. So if you want to stick around with Chaz, get your game face on. And I shouldn't leave Ron out. Those two boys,
they partied.
Come strapped up, boys and girls. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
You got to get ready.
So, but no, they just stick around at the finish line, drink, have a good time, share war stories, tell some lies.
Yeah, they're mostly lies because it's all in your head of how bad it was.
Yeah. So, and then Chaz's also goes back into.
We'll go multiple. Right into. I want to.
So we have 3 people. So we know this is a big one.
We'll go into that in a second. I want to spend. We're going to spend a little bit of time on that one. So I want to make sure we don't miss anything else. There's two things that we're going to spend a little time on. One's funny. One's more serious. Well, not really more serious. It's still funny, but it just pisses us off. But really, in the grand scheme of things with the etiquette stuff, is just be smart and be respectful. Whether it's be respectful to the roads or trails with like throwing shit on the ground, or faster and or slower runners. Still faster runners. You don't want to scare people. I think it's just being respectful itself. It's because I'll tell you right now, if you're a fast runner and you try blowing by me and not giving me a heads up, I will call you out on your bullshit and I will fucking say something to you. Like, I don't even care. I want to make sure you stop and I'm going to call you out for being a dick. And the next time I see you, I'm not getting out of the way. Yeah. You can stop for me.
Yeah.
But most of the fast people that we know, they're super nice. Chad Trumbo, he obviously passes flying. Like, it's like, hey, bye. But every time he was coming up, as fast as he was running, hey guys, I'm coming up.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. And it's like, sweet. Thank you for letting us know. Off the trail I go.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a really, man, I cannot stress enough. And like, I feel like this is one of the reasons I really, really love race season is it gives you a chance to be reminded of how great the trail running community is.
Yeah.
Here in Central Ohio and just in Ohio in general. I mean, even the elite fast runners we have around here are like some of the chillest, most humble, awesome people ever. So yeah, I mean, like Jonathan said, though, even the fast people we have around here, I don't know if I've ever really ran into a huge asshole fast runner.
I haven't ran into someone that is actually fast. Yeah. I've run into the people that think they're fast and they think they can hang for that long, and there's no way they can. I know I definitely can't, so I'm not even playing like I could. It's the people that think they can do it.
It is funny that you say that because I think in my mind I can think of a couple of pretty large assholes, and they are for the most part.
We're probably thinking the same people.
And for the most part, the people I'm thinking of are people who are, I will admit, on their bad day, they're probably middle of the packers. They could be upper middle packers, but they really, in their heart of heart, I think they are front. I mean, they think they are like in it to win it, podium kind of people. In reality, they're middle of the pack to upper the middle of the pack, and they would be the ones that would just like not even a second thought, just like.
They're the kind of people that run with their friends 4 abreast on high banks, and wait for you to come back.
Yes,
those kinds of people. So going into a few of the things that we kind of like hinted at, we've got 2 topics that really are, I don't know,
So I don't know what you want to do.
They're funny. We'll go with the first one.
Go with the first one? Okay. Yeah. So if you are going to poop on a trail.
Yeah, okay, so you guys gave a shit for this last time, no pun intended. We're about to talk about more poop.
Yeah.
So
if you're eating lunch,
stop
eating lunch, or put this on 2-speed or something like that.
No, don't stop this. You stop eating.
Yeah.
You continue listening to this, then you continue eating.
So So here's the thing with pooping on a trail, right?
Based on real events.
It's going to happen. If you've run with me, you know for a fact it's going to happen.
Every 5 miles.
Every 5 miles. So here's the thing. Either A, get to a latrine. B, if you're going to poop, go off the trail. Off the trail.
There's a reason John is being very specific about those instructions.
Multiple feet. Like if you think you've gone 50 feet, you have not.
Can you see the trail?
Go another 50 feet.
You're too close to the trail.
Yes. Go until you can't see the trail. And then maybe just go like a couple more feet just for safety measures.
You should tell the story.
And here's why I tell this story. I am pacing somebody at a race in Buffalo. It is called Beast of Burden. Beast of Burden is on a towpath, I think is what those are commonly referred to. It is along a levee. I believe is what that is called up there at Beast of Burden. It is literally the flattest, straightest path I've ever seen in my mind. It is insane how flat and straight this is. And it is dark 30 in the morning. We are shuffling down the trail, and all of a sudden, I see a light spin toward us, or was already facing us. I can't 100% remember which way it was. But then all of a sudden, I see the light, like, kind of moving up and down, and then down. I'm like, what the fuck is going on up there? So we finally get up to the runner. I'm like, hey, man, everything okay? And I say this still kind of out of eyesight because he's shining his light back at us.
Right.
And as I get to where I'm past where it's like kind of blinding me, I realize I'm asking, hey, man, everything okay? To a dude who is squatting and shitting on the trail. I am not talking like I'm not saying he's off the trail. I'm not saying one of his feet is off the trail. I'm saying homie is on the trail pinching a loaf right there. And we're like, what the actual fuck? And like, he's like, the runner we're with is like, we're there to take care of him.
Right.
So we're not stopping to like ask this dude. And to this dude's credit, hey dude, you okay? Doesn't miss a beat. Doesn't take a breath. Doesn't even act the least bit embarrassed. Nope, just taking a shit. I'm like, oh my God.
I like how you just...
Yeah, and like, it was just completely normal. Guys, ladies, if you're going to poop or whatever, pee or poop on the trail, go off the trail. Off the trail a little bit.
Wasn't there another story with the same person? Was it the same race where there was a lady doing something similar? Or was that...
Where did we see a lady peeing at? Where was that at? No.
The weird thing is, you talk about
I think I had forgotten about her though. That was kind of weird. Like, yeah, like, and that was during the day.
Yeah, it wasn't a night one. I thought I remember telling you that.
It was the morning of. So the race obviously started on like a Saturday, I think. It is Sunday morning. It is daylight. I think it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it is daylight morning. And she's like, she wasn't very far off the trail because she's like, just like, and her pacer's there with her, and like, kind of gave her a heads up that we were coming, but like, totally didn't think a whole lot of it.
Yeah, no one's caring about it.
Yeah, so I just
that happened when I was in Berlin for the marathon.
Yeah,
there's like a little area, like obviously they have all the porta potties and stuff like that. And I don't know if this is just like a European thing to do, but they. I don't know why this was like an idea, but they had these. They had like the Porta John set up, and then they had this like little area that was the kind of cut off where people were like, where guys and stuff were using the restroom, and all of a sudden you look and there's a an area where like ladies are literally, this is like the path to walk to the starting line and just like pants at the ankles, not even like hiding. I'm like, we haven't even started and there's literally 20,000 people around here.
Just weird. Like
Europeans.
Yeah. So free.
You get it? You
so
get
free.
It? European.
I see what you did there.
And then I also saw a guy smoking while he was taking a piss with his, like he has his race bib on.
Yeah.
He's like smoking his cigarette, taking a piss. And I'm like, we're about to run, bro. Like, cool.
Yeah, that's it's kind of weird. Like, I am always amazed at how well people can like run like bats out of hell. And so when I was in the Army many moons ago, I had a squad. He was a squad leader in our squad that, I mean, this dude smoked like a chimney and could still run like a 6 minute mile.
Just ridiculous.
Could still knock out 6 mile. I mean, there was like times where I was kind of like fully expecting to see him smoking while running at times.
Yeah.
Like, he was just a great, he was a good runner. So yeah, that is always kind of weird.
But yeah, so the moral of all of these stories, if you're gonna poop, don't look at the trail.
Yeah,
like, don't be anywhere where you can see the trail.
And then here comes ladies and gentlemen.
This is our coming to Atlanta. This really brought up the trail etiquette episode because there was some instances of this in. Do we want to say the race?
Nah.
Okay.
There was a trail race.
A trail race recently that this came up at, and then just yesterday, I forget the PR. I'll say that because I saw it myself. The other ones we were told about. Well, you witnessed it, kind of.
I witnessed one.
Yeah. But it's music on the course. Now, if you want to listen to music, as we've talked about, be safe about it and listen to it in your own ears. Do not do not
Oh my God.
have your own speaker. Yes, the aid stations or people on the course like volunteering stuff like that, you can have there to try to cheer on the runners, stuff like that. Single wise,
encourage that.
Yes, I agree. We should have that because it's like it's a single point. It's like here's a point. Yeah. I'm running to the music. I hear it. I run away from the music.
Getting away from the music.
It fades out.
Yes.
When someone has a speaker on their back or on their waist,
blaring.
No, thank you.
Blaring loud.
I'll say again, no, thank you.
Oh, so. My wife was ready to murder a motherfucker. I mean, and for the people who have not formally met me and my wife, she is commonly referred to as the Saint.
The Saint for real.
The Saint. Like, she is
the amount of shit she puts up with.
Oh, my God. Folks, you have listened to me for 14 episodes.
Exactly.
You know what kind of fucking...
And this is us trying to be good.
Okay.
For folks, you.
I have been married to my beautiful wife. This December will be 17 years.
Nice.
The Saint. Like, the amount of bullshit she puts up with on a day in and day out basis, she can tolerate some nonsense. So when she is like, this motherfucker's about ready to get stabbed.
Oh.
You know it has gone all the way sideways.
It's gotten bad.
Like, it has gotten bad. This guy had... music blaring so fucking loud that, and she was actually like, no, we gotta drop this dude. Like, she was like,
yeah,
we're picking up the pace. So it just goes back to
about being respectful.
It's about being respectful. I get that you think it's super fucking cool, and it might be.
That's the music I listen to. So even I'm like, I would listen to that music in my own ears.
Yeah.
You don't want to share that stuff with everyone because, one, like you said, it may not be everyone's cup of tea, but even more, if that's what you're having to hear the entire time, you can't stay focused on what you need to stay focused on. All you can think of is, I want to push this guy in the river.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, step back and think. If that's what you're listening to, just imagine that if some fucking local yokel yodel was in front of you listening to the fucking Walmart kid yodel all goddamn race. You might go insane, right? Well, same goes for when you are making people listen to whatever the fuck you're listening to.
Yeah, it's just not cool. And I've seen it in so many different ways where I've seen it on road races and stuff like this, and the people think like, it's so cool, and it's like, it's not. Especially if you're in a group where you're running consistently and stuff like that, and like you can't get away from these people.
Yeah.
And that's all you're having to hear the entire time. It's going to annoy the person. Yeah. And you may think, I'm being motivational, stuff like that, but you're not, because you have random playlists. It's like Chad, when he had to do his pooping thing, he probably had like motivational music. I'm going good, and then all of a sudden he hears, let it go, let it go. Yeah. It's like, that's the kind of thing. If you put your iPod or whatever on shuffle, you're going to have a song that no one wants to listen to.
Okay. I had so insane how so much stuff has like fallen out of my memory, and I had forgotten about this. I am at a race, and I had gotten stuck to where me and this other person were kind of leapfrogging each other.
Okay.
But at one point, he got somehow in front of me and wasn't even listening to music on his Bluetooth speaker. He was listening to a motivational speaker.
Oh my goodness.
Yelling at him, you are great. And everyone's going to make fun of us for this because, like we said on our motivational, you got to like be positive with yourself, but be positive with yourself in your mind. So this dude has like, and I wish the motivational speaker I actually know, it's Rodney something, I think. But it's this dude yelling at him via this Bluetooth speaker. And I'm like, oh, sweet baby Jesus.
Yeah, I need to get away from this.
I need to dig deep.
Yeah.
And try to run fast
There's either two things that are going to happen. I'm going to drop my pace off by an hour.
Yeah, well, two things are going to happen. Either I'm going to pick up my pace and I'm going to get in front of this guy, or I'm going to murder him.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't feel like doing life.
Yeah. So life in prison didn't seem like a good idea.
So, no, guys, ladies.
I mean, this is one of those things where there's not if you feel like this is kind of, you kind of can do it this way. Like, no, you're hearing it right now. I'm taking a stand. And I think John's on the same page with me. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. There's just there is absolutely, if you want to listen to music, wear headphones.
Yeah.
And if you're like, well, I want to hear nature and do this, we're supporting a company that's not a sponsor yet because they still haven't sent us free headphones and I need to borrow some from Chaz. But Aftershocks, dude, your ears are open. Yeah. You can still listen to music.
Yep.
If that's going to be your excuse.
One earbud in, one earbud out.
Exactly. It makes absolutely no sense.
I don't get the deep, rich tones.
Gosh.
And then it's not in stereo.
Then you know what? Ride a bike.
But you know, it's kind of fun. You kind of hit on something. This will sound super corny. I decided to stop listening to headphones when I ran a high banks one time, and I had headphones in, and I'm running a high banks with headphones in, and I had this weird wait a fucking second. I am out in the middle of Mother Nature. There's got to be better things to listen to right now. And I took my headphones out and I'm like, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to run a mile or so without my headphones in. I'm going to see if I can tolerate it. And this will sound corny. I go to the woods and I trail run to listen to the birds, the wind, the river, all that kind of goofy shit. I like to listen to that. So if I'm trying to listen to that and I got to listen to your fucking death metal or where the fuck you're listening to, just have some respect for the people around you. Yep. Put some earbuds in. I was just at CRC a couple days ago. Aftershocks, 100 bones.
Is that it?
100 bones. At CRC.
At CRC.
On Amazon, 130. We will put a link on our webpage. Yeah. So you go to so you go to Amazon
and buy them for 130.
Or CRC, 100 bones.
Or how about this? We'll make a deal. You go to CRC, save money, send us $20.
There you go. Yeah, and you're still a good $10.
Yeah,
you're still in the green by 10.
That's what I call a promotional post.
There you go.
But yeah, I think, and John, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think this entire trail etiquette, or really race etiquette, or running etiquette in general, comes down to respect.
Oh, 100%.
Just being
100%.
respectful and you're treating others how you'd want to be treated. And if you want to be treated like that, then don't fucking run near me.
Yeah.
Because I will push you in a river.
I'm a nonviolent person.
It's like local possum drowns man at Delaware State Park.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's trail etiquette. That's our 2 cents on everything trail etiquette. Local wise, we'll get to your garage door thing here in a second.
Yes.
I want to bring up Hangry is this Saturday. Basically, the race is almost sold out. So when you hear this, it's probably definitely sold out. And we got plenty of volunteers, but we'd love to have you come out and cheer people on. And if you're going to be there, sounds great. There's going to be some stickers there for sure. So hopefully you can come by and chat with John and I. We will both be timing at the finish line. So you will see us when you cross that finish line. We'll be wearing some Hangry Race Series gear. All right, garage door, go.
Garage door. Okay, so here's the garage door thing. For somewhere local to try, somewhere local to something newer. It's been around for about a month. I call it Hilliard. I'm being told it's more of a Dublin location.
Depends on how nice it is.
It's on the road directly east of Tuttle Mall.
France?
Yes. It's basically a corner of Tuttle and France.
That's Dublin.
See, I've referred to it as Hilliard.
Well, it's a Dublin address.
I know, but let's be honest. Dublin people ain't trying to claim that shit.
I think I know exactly what you're about to talk about.
Folks, the fucking Rail. The new restaurant. It's called The Rail.
Yeah.
Fucking gangster.
You think so?
I know so.
Maybe I just got something I didn't like.
Oh, I don't know how you could.
What'd you get?
I got the Mojo Burger.
Okay, I didn't get I got their Blue Bessie or something like that.
How soon after opening did you go?
I just went last week.
Oh, that's weird. I was there when Jordan had to track me out in Hilliard. We went after that, like last week also. It was fucking phenomenal.
Wednesday I went for lunch.
I think.
Wednesday. It was definitely Wednesday.
Definitely Wednesday.
It's definitely Wednesday. 147 toothpicks. 147.
We were there Tuesday, I think.
Okay.
It was outstanding. It was super good.
I think it may have just been what I got.
Yeah.
The burger was really good, but
What the fuck else would there be? Then? What do you mean?
The meat, rather. The meat was good. Like the stuff that the topping and stuff, because they had like blue cheese and some onions and stuff. That was their sauce was weird. That was on it. Maybe it was just the burger I got.
So
the meat was very good.
The Mojo burger is what that sausage that's often in
the Abdul.
No, that
not Abdul.
Abdul
or
something like that.
Yeah.
That sausage.
This librarian.
That sausage mixed with beef. It was phenomenal. And then they have like grilled zucchini and squash planks you can get with some balsamic on it. That was killer.
Yeah, I'm definitely have to hit that up again.
They had hash browns. They had hash browns there that were the size of golf balls that you got like this mayo ketchup. So we'll call it like a matchup mixture.
Was it their horseradish like type sauce?
No. This was more of like a ketchupy mayonnaise kind of mix.
Okay.
I'm telling you, everything I tried from everyone at the table was really good. And you know how places are always like, oh, this is kind of spicy. This is spicy. And you're like, this ain't shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their fucking spicy sandwich that they had.
Spicy.
My sister's boyfriend got it. That shit was fucking blazing. It had a habanero jelly sauce on it. Dude, that shit.
I'm thinking I got not a good thing. Their menu was super expensive. There were so many options. I had no idea what to get.
And any burger you get on there, you can turn into a vegan sandwich.
Yeah, that's dumb.
They had like a vegan vegetarian option.
Yeah, no, we're going to hear about
that. I mean.
Meat.
Yeah, well.
So what's for dinner?
The 12-year-old boy has decided.
That's true.
Kudos to JJ though. He's been a vegetarian for since January 1st, basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's funny. It's funny you brought up the rail. Literally, just so you know, I'm not shitting you. I have a note here that talks about the rail while we were there, because I almost forgot to bring this up. Thank goodness you did. Is we're there. Tori and I were at the bar. Tori. Shout out to Tori. She actually listens to this. We called her out for not listening to it. Yeah, that's another thing. But we're there and we're sitting there, we're talking. It's like they have all these delicious looking beers, on the tap, and they have like a cooler of stuff. And the guy next to me is like, "Hey, do you guys got Miller Lite?" And I literally just looked at the guy and shook my head. And then I instantly wrote in my notes, just so I remembered, the rail ordered Miller Lite. I'm like, I need to bring that up on the podcast.
I did have, I had 2 beers while I was there.
Okay.
And,
I was at lunch over work.
So how many beers do you have?
None.
I had
unfortunately, there was a lot of good looking ones.
Yeah, they had a couple of beers there that were like theirs that they had other places were making for them. And you know what? The one that they had made for them was made by Phoenix Brewery up in Mansfield.
Okay.
And it was called like Melano or something like that. If you like sweet beer, if you like fruit beer, that thing is right up your alley. That thing was like a blood orange beer or something like that.
Huh.
It was bizarre. Super, super sweet. And then they had one by Seventh Son over on 4th.
Seventh Son's so good.
Yeah. It was called Brother John. And I got it kind of like, this could be interesting because it was supposed to be like a blonde ale.
Okay.
With when I read it, it was like lemony, peppery blonde ale. I'm like, okay, maybe it'll be, it was the most bizarre, good, but weirdly good beer I've ever had in my life.
Huh.
But so,
what was it called?
Brother John.
Brother John.
But the cool thing about the rail, talking about the beer, they have 24, I think it's 24 Ohio beers on tap.
Yeah, they had their tap list looked pretty good. I was upset. Their happy hour looks pretty good, so I think I'm gonna hit that up after work sometimes.
It is. So yeah, if you're Central Ohio, check out the rail.
Right out there off of Franz and Tuttle. It's in Carrick Square is the name of the.
They built that building specifically for themselves.
Yeah, which is interesting because it's like right next to a drive-in. There's a belly dancing place in the plaza. We go like belly dancing. When'd that come? We used to live right over there in that neck of the woods.
Doug Howe says, I was talking to him about that place, and he said Yogi's, which is right there behind it.
Yeah.
He said if you ever want just a good local yokel kind of beer place, he says honestly God, that might be the coldest beer he's ever had in his life.
Really?
Like 33 degrees.
Anytime I'm in that area, head over to the DP, bro. The old Dub Pub.
The StubHub.
Oh, you get the best kind of people in there.
I'm sure. Very classy.
We used to go there, be there. We that would be our midnight to 2 a.m. spot.
Yeah.
And literally I would sit in the side. I have my Patron and grapefruit, and I'm just like, let's see which 70-year-old guy tries to pick up the bartender tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, come on, man. You lived in Dublin way too long. These girls do not want you. Anything else local?
I don't think so.
That's everything. Some things that we want you to check out. If you did not see last Friday, the outtakes episode, we made a bonus episode. Finally, the surprise. I finally got my shit together and got it done. It's like 13 minutes or 12 and a half minutes of just random shit, just random little
just
clips.
Makes no sense.
Oh, and there's no sequential order. There's they all run together. It is a good time. Yeah, I mean, that's all I can say about it.
It's 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be in your podcast feed, so it'd be right before this episode. So you may have already heard it because you're like, oh, it's 12 minutes. I can listen to these morons for 12 minutes. I can't do it for an hour, though. But yeah, check that out. And then this will be releasing on Tuesday, so congratulations to everyone that finished the Boston Marathon.
Yeah. Let us know what that's like.
Yeah, because that happens tomorrow or yesterday.
Speaking of Boston Marathon, E60 today. I was laying in bed watching E60, and they had a thing on there, the Gumshoe. This dude is from Cleveland, Ohio, as a matter of fact, and he's basically turned what was a hobby of his into basically a second job, where he finds cheaters. He finds race cheaters. Yeah. Have you seen this guy?
I've seen other stories of this guy where he basically looks up, he finds people that finished and then cross-references them with other races and then looks up pictures and looks at this. You know what I say about this guy? Get a fucking life.
It's
great that you're fighting cheaters, but you know what? If these cheaters feel good about this stuff and they can live with themselves doing that, let them do what they want to do.
And here's why I disagree with you. Today on E60, they even talked about it. There is a young lady who qualified for Boston. She qualified for Boston by seconds, right?
Right.
Barely qualified. Well, Boston, even though you qualify, you might not be fast enough.
Right. That happened to Dr. Mike the last 2 years.
Dr. Mike. So this guy found 12 people who he got disqualified for Boston because he discovered one person had a faster friend wear their bib and all this kind of shit.
That's usually what it is. It's a faster friend.
Yep. 12 people. Those 12 people got disqualified is the reason that she was allowed to enter. So it's not just about she may not have never got to experience Boston had he not gotten these 12 people disqualified.
That's true. I mean, I don't know. There's a double side to it. But for him to just do this, it's like he's getting more attention now.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, especially when he's on E60.
Right.
Now, if he's just diming out fat middle-aged dudes in Arizona.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's done it in other races too. He doesn't just do Boston.
No,
and that's the thing. It's like
Boston's his pride and joy.
Yeah.
But so I get it for there.
Get out of your mom's basement.
But yeah, I get it for Boston. But like I said, I
guess I can see from that point. Yeah. People are taking other people's spots because usually what happens that I've seen is you have a friend do it, or it's usually a husband runs for a wife.
Yeah, yeah.
And since the female times are a little slower for qualification, it's these guys that can run 3 hours. They run in 3 hours, and that definitely qualifies you at any age, woman. If you run a 3:10.
Well, the lady he helped get in. Her qualifying time was a 3:33.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying I could knock out a 3:33.
Yeah.
But 3:33's
I think
maybe feasible for me.
I think the fastest women qualifying time is 3:25.
Yeah.
And that's for the youngest age.
So and the guys go all the way down to almost twos.
Not in the two. Well,
high twos.
My age group was at 25 to 30. So 25 to 30, 20 to 30 is 3:05.
Because I was saying 6, I know probably 6 years ago or more, maybe 7 years ago, 30 to 35 for guys was 3:11.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a lot. That's a solid difference.
Yeah. I mean, we're not. And moving on.
Cut. So it's just, I don't know. I get it. Like, you know who else he brought up? And I think probably a lot of people in our listening group probably know about this. The dude, the ultra runner that was hiding in a porta-john that had won, like, this is kind of out west.
Yep.
They had caught him. They brought that up. I mean,
there's a lot. And, you know, it's one of those things where, I guess this is my thing. If you want to cheat and that's what you feel good about, I mean, yes, in this cases where it takes away from somebody else kind of thing, that sucks. But if you can have that trophy and just believe that you did that,
right?
I mean, that's your own problem.
And that's one of the cool things about running is there's a lot of honor.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of honors involved in running.
Semi-trail etiquette, the last possum race, 2 possum races ago, coming out of Mink, you know how you take that long way around.
Yep.
A guy beeline straight to the pond, and I was trying to catch him, and I saw him beeline. I'm like, dude, I would love to call you out and be like, hey, run the damn course.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things where if he wants to finish and get his horseshoe and that's what he wants to do, so be it.
I know 2 years ago, we was up at Roma Scissors. Kind of a similar thing where you're supposed to do you're kind of supposed to box in a grassy area.
Right.
And some runners watched a husband and a wife, I think, go straight across. You know, but I mean, come on, man. I mean, like,
if that makes you feel good, I mean,
it's just so stupid. Yeah, but I mean, just the honor of knowing that you did every step you're supposed to do. And I know for a fact, you know, at Mohican, I mean, I know I'm not the only one that knows. There's multiple places where you can cut off.
Oh yeah,
miles. You know, what I mean, just.
And if you're not the leader, no one's ever going to find out.
There's at Hallucination. At Hallucination, there's a spot where 100Ks kind of turn right and 100 milers go left. Mm-hmm. Same thing. Like, how many times could you as a 100 miler just do what the 100Ks are doing? Well, I can tell you how many times. Twice. Yeah. Because after that, I mean, I don't know. I just.
Yeah.
The lack of honor of their people do that. But anyways, I saw him come up, and when we talk about Boston, that kind of rang a bell.
But yeah, so congrats to those people who finished Boston. Do we know anyone that's running it?
Ken Varian.
Is he out there?
Yeah.
I mean, he's run the last few years, hasn't he?
Oh,
he ran last year.
Yeah.
I know he qualifies every year. I didn't know if he runs it every year.
He is not one of the ones that needs to worry about getting bumped.
Oh, no. He's definitely just got that covered.
He is bumping.
Yeah, he's got that covered. But thanks for checking out the episode this week. If you guys do enjoy this podcast and you're not subscribed, consider subscribing on Apple Podcast or wherever you get your podcast on the interwebs. If you do like it, we'd love if you left us a review. We can read all the reviews on iTunes and on Facebook. And then if you leave a review on like Google or Stitcher or Overcast or any of those, just copy and paste into one of the platforms that we can actually read. We do pick out our favorite reviews of the week. Can you pull up a review for us for the review for the week? Just pull up the Facebook page. It's the one we got, I think, 2 days ago. So are you gonna pull it up while I can talk at the same time?
You can prep whatever at the same time.
Okay.
I'm on our page. Go to reviews.
Yeah, we'll head to the reviews. So if you do like it, consider just leave us a review. We really like to do that. Like to hear from you about it. Also, reach out to us on social media. We like having a conversation. We try to put little topics up on Facebook, Twitter, just to have a conversation back and forth. But if you have any beer recommendation, topic ideas, share your training, any races and stuff like that, we really, really like hearing it. So that's that. The review of the week, and this person already has a sticker on their way. But still definitely a great review. It's from Greg Hinneman. He wrote, "This podcast is a reflection of the beauty of running, a place where people of all abilities are welcome, where we don't take ourselves too seriously, and we find joy in each other's victories. Don't miss an episode. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll kiss your PR goodbye." Gets an extra point for rhyming.
It rhymes.
Yeah, thanks so much, Greg, for that review. It was like a serious review. The other one was like, all the other ones we have
dick
were like,
measuring.
yeah. They don't measure their dicks. And what was Chaz's name?
Oh shit! Well, cheesy nuts.
Cheesy nuts.
so
yeah. Thanks a lot, Greg, for that review. But yeah, leave us a review. Reach out to us. We love having conversations and seeing you guys out. It was great meeting a bunch of listeners at Forget the PR. I'm sure we'll